Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is News at 12. News at 12.
For the local scene, Albay Arta team up for better public service. Albay Governor Noel E. Rosal welcomed Anti-Red Tape Authority Director General Ernesto V. Perez at the provincial capital to discuss a stronger governance collaboration. The meeting, facilitated by the Provincial Tourism, Culture and Arts Office, focused on streamlining procedures and reducing bureaucratic delays. Both leaders highlighted their commitment to transparent, efficient, and citizen-centered public service. The visit reflects Albay's ongoing efforts to promote good governance and strengthen ties with national agencies for the benefit of residents. Meanwhile, Albay brings free dental care to Manito. The Albay Provincial Health Office conducted a dental mission at Manito Municipal Hospital, providing free oral health services to residents. The outreach, led by Dr. Aristotle Alim, served 62 patients with consultations and treatments for common dental concerns. Officials also promoted proper dental hygiene and stressed the importance of preventive care and regular checkups. The activity is part of the provincial government's ongoing effort to bring essential health services to communities with limited access. The Albay Health Office reaffirmed its commitment to sustain outreach programs supporting the health and well-being of Albayanos. Moreover, Albay unites communities against rabies. The Albay Veterinary Office led a pledge of commitment signing with local officials, animal welfare advocates, community leaders, and academe members at the Farmers Auditorium in Kamalig to boost rabies prevention. The initiative encourages shared responsibility between the government and the public to protect community health from rabies. The pledge highlights public awareness campaigns and immediate medical care after animal bites as key strategies. It also backs expanded vaccination drives to increase coverage among dogs and cats across the province. The campaign promotes responsible pet ownership by urging residents to register, vaccinate, leash, and properly care for their pets. Officials called on residents to join upcoming vaccination activities and report suspected rabies cases to municipal offices. The activity capped a series of coordination workshops strengthening collaboration between veterinary health workers and local authorities in rabies response efforts. In the national scene, work from home eyed amid oil fears. Parañaque 2nd District Representative Brian Raymond Yamsuan urged the government and private sector to prepare work-from-home arrangements and online classes to help lessen transportation and electricity expenses as global oil prices may rise due to tension in the Middle East. Yamsuan said authorities should act quickly to reduce the burden on workers and students who rely on public transport or private vehicles, warning that fuel prices may surge and the conflict in the region continues. The concern follows recent strikes by the United States and Israel on Iran in late February, which prompted Tehran to retaliate with drone and missile attacks on several Gulf states, raising fears of disruptions in global oil supply. Amina Bark, head of Middle East and the OPEC and Plus Insights at Kepler, said oil prices could climb to between $85 and $90 per barrel, a significant jump from the Brent crude price that had already risen to more than $72 from about $61 at the start of the year. Yamsuan said the transport sector would likely be among the first to feel the impact of rising fuel costs because operators rely heavily on petroleum products to run vehicles and deliver services. Meanwhile, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is considering measures to address the possible spike in fuel prices, including staging a proposed 4-day workweek and seeking emergency powers from Congress to suspend excise tax on petroleum products under a bill filed by Miro Kimbo. And in another story, anti-dynasty bill loophole concerns. Senate President Vicente Soto III warned that the proposed anti-political dynasty bill may have loopholes, particularly in cases involving extramarital partners of government officials. During Senate deliberations, Risa Hontiveros said the bill allows the Commission on Elections to determine if unmarried couples who live together and present themselves as partners should be covered by the ban on the political dynasty. Soto raised another concern about what would happen if a mistress falsely claims she is no longer in a relationship with an incumbent official just to run for public office. Hontiveros replied that lying about such a relationship could lead the election body to cancel the candidate's certificate of candidacy or nomination once the truth is discovered. She added that if the false claim is uncovered after the election, the winning candidate may face a Q warrant case that could void their proclamation and remove them from office. The bill seeks to prohibit political dynasties up to the second degree of relation, while lawmakers are still studying concerns about partners, their relatives, and how to decide who can run if several family members seek the same post. Meanwhile, House panel orders Duterte response. The House Committee on Justice on Thursday served a notice directing Vice President Sara Duterte to submit a response within 10 days to impeachment complaints after lawmakers voted 54 minus 1 to declare the petition sufficient and substance. According to the notice received by the Office of the Vice President at 10:44 a.m., failure to file a verified answer within the prescribed period would be considered a waiver, meaning the Vice President would be deemed to have issued a general denial to the allegations. The complaints accuse Duterte of graft and corruption while in office and of allegedly making a death threat against Ferdinand Marcos Jr., along with other charges including misuse of confidential funds, alleged bribery involving officials of the Department of Education, unexplained wealth, and failure to disclose assets in her SALN. Filed separately by Father Joel Sabalya and attorney Nathaniel Cabrera, the complaints allege culpable violation of the Constitution, betrayal of public trust, and other high crimes which under the 1987 Constitution of the Philippines could lead to a Senate trial and a lifetime ban from public office if she is convicted. For the news outside the country, U.S. begins evacuation flights from Middle East. The United States operated its first charter flight to evacuate Americans from the war-hit Middle East, as more than 7,500 citizens had already returned on their own since the conflict began. The State Department provided no details about the flight, citing operational security, but said it plans to increase the number of charter flights across the region. Officials urge Americans in Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia to register online to secure spots on upcoming evacuation flights. The U.S. government has faced criticism from travelers and lawmakers for a slow response, even as Washington and Israel's joint military action against Iran triggered regional missile and drone attacks. Most Americans living the region have relied on commercial flights, with only about 6,500 assisted directly by the State Department, while officials continue to warn citizens to leave the Middle East immediately due to rising instability. Meanwhile, in a related news, Gulf tanker blast sparks oil spill. A tanker was hit by a large explosion in waters off Kuwait on Thursday, causing an oil spill, according to the British Maritime Security Agency UKMTO, as the ongoing US-Iran-Israel war continues to disrupt shipping in the Gulf. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said they now have complete control of the Strait of Hormuz, a key passage for global energy shipments and one of the world's most important oil shipping routes. UKMTO reported that the tanker's captain heard and saw a large blast on the port side of the ship before spotting a small boat quickly leaving the area near Kuwait's Mubarak al-Kabir region. Kuwait's Interior Ministry said the explosion happened at least 60 kilometers outside the country's territorial waters, while Chinese shipping giant COSCO announced it had suspended tanker services to and from Gulf countries starting Wednesday. And another update regarding this related to our country. Filipinos repatriated from Middle East. Amid rising tensions in the Middle East, 299 Filipinos were safely brought home and arrived in Pasay City early Thursday morning, the Department of Migrant Workers said. The BDMW Secretary Hans Leo Cagdag and staff welcomed the repatriates at Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 3, arriving on Emirates Airlines Flight 336 from Dubai, UAE. Some returning Filipinos left for safety, some finished their overseas contracts, and others came home for personal reasons, the DMW said. The repatriates received financial aid from the DMW's Action Fund, while the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration provided lodging and transport, and health and social support came from the Department of Health and the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Tensions in the Gulf rose after the U.S. and Israel struck Iran over its nuclear program, prompting Iran to fire missiles at U.S. bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the UAE, while the DMW reported 2 Filipino casualties in the conflict. That ends our news break for today, March 6, 2026. We'll be back tomorrow for news update. Thanks to our noon news break writers Elza Lorejo and Naomi Hernandez. And on the technical side, we have Richard Bobist. And thank you to our PIO OIC head, Sir Marty Gonzalez. This has been your anchor, Anessa P. Babb. Thank you for subscriber. Albay in my heart.